Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night Fundamentals of Wellness class. And we're going to be talking about autoimmune concerns tonight. And I just want to have a raise of hands for those of us that do suffer with autoimmune symptoms. Just raise your hands if you feel like you suffer with autoimmune symptoms. Yeah, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 3 dark screens here, but that's 5 people. And I think if you just sit quietly for a second, you might come up with some friends that you feel like, well, they talk about autoimmune symptoms too, and they might not even say that it's an autoimmune issue, but they might just say that they, have swelling, or they have fatigue, or they have digestive disorders, and they might not even realize that it's an autoimmune concern. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start our little slide presentation today. And can you all see that almost?
Yes.
All righty. Get our little faces out of the way. Present. All right, here we go. All right, so when I think about the way the body works, it's always a surprise to me. There are thousands of chemical processes that are taking place in your body at any time, and they're all in an attempt to keep the body in balance. And that word that we're looking for when we talk about imbalance is homeostasis. And there are many things that can kick us out of balance. And it seems like with autoimmune issues, it's a cascade of issues that create this autoimmune concern. And as I said in our email this week, 80% of the people that have autoimmune diseases are women. And here are just a few of the symptoms, and I'm sure that you have many more. And I did include a little checklist in an email that went out yesterday, I believe. And there are things as fatigue, joint pain, digestive concerns, such as gas and bloat and constipation and diarrhea, but there are many, many more, including alopecia, rashes and skin issues, all kinds of things. So this was the checklist that went out today, just to give you a quick overview of some of the issues that people that have autoimmune concerns are dealing with. And if we look at this list, I think that it's kind of comforting to think that some of our doTERRA products can actually help ease some of these symptoms. The conventional treatment for autoimmune diseases usually involves medications that suppress your immune system with high-dose steroids or other immunosuppressants. And chronic immunosuppressant use increases the susceptibility to infections. So what's up with that, right? That's kind of a vicious cycle. And so I'm going to really impress upon you the need for you to be responsible for your own health and wellness. And it just seems like there's a big disconnect between some of these, really not life-shattering concerns that people have. I mean, you can still function, but it does interfere with the quality of your life. And so you do need to take responsibility for these issues. So it seems to me, and when I was talking with Kathy and Kimberly and Carrie, and this conversation about autoimmune issues has been going on for as long as I've known Carrie, Kimberly, and Kathy, because the 3 of them have been dealing with those issues for years. And so we must have a better way to deal with those issues. So it says here, most autoimmune diseases have no known cause. From my research, it was a genetic factor, it was a viral infection, and then potentially bacteria that escapes the GI tract and attaches to various organs throughout the body. But I think for our mantra, I think we should all do this in cross stitch and hang it in our bedrooms, that we should be responsible for our own health, because it doesn't seem like the medical profession is really giving you what you need to help get over some of these symptoms. So when I talked to Kathy and Kimberly and Carrie over the years, again, that we've been talking about this, it just seemed like there just must be a way for us to use our products that's gentle and targeted and specific to your concerns without causing the body any more stress than it's already living with. And so when we had a conversation one afternoon, I got off the phone and I just started to think, what is it that we're really after? We're after excellent nutrition. We're looking for an easy detox. We're looking to support the microbiome, and we're really looking to transform our health. And when I came up with that idea, I realized that I was spelling out an acronym, NEST. And the word nest as a noun means a place of rest or retreat. And so I want you to consider that your body is this place of rest. It's your home that you live in. But the word nest also means that it's like a layering of concepts. And so as we go through what we're calling the NEST protocol, don't think of one protocol or 1 month's protocol as being the end all. Think of it as layering towards the next part of the NEST protocol. So again, as I mentioned, it's nutrition and it's an easy detox. And we're going to talk more about these things in a few minutes. And it's supporting the microbiome, and it's ultimately going to transform your health. And when I had a conversation with Kimberly just yesterday, she wanted to remind us that we're not really going to heal an autoimmune disease. So when we get to this part of transforming your health, you're really just going to go back up into nutrition, easy detox, supporting the microbiome. That this is just a continuous cycle of care as you become responsible for your own health. So the first month of our NEST protocol is all about nutrition. And so for 4 months, what we're recommending is that you explore the NEST protocol. And again, month number 1 is all about nutrition. This is a quote that I've used on other slides that I've shared with you. I put it on trifolds, and I just think that it's so startling. But according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, as many as 95% of Americans do not meet the recommended dietary allowances to maintain health and wellness. And I just find that just remarkable, don't you? I mean, we are one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and yet we have the poorest nutrition. And you can consume plenty of calories, but be nutrient less. You don't have enough nutrients to really support your cellular health. I have just a few physical issues that occur when you have a poor diet. You can be underweight, overweight, or obese. Like you could be a really thin person and be suffering with malnutrition. You can be an overweight person and be suffering with malnutrition. You can have constipation or changes in your bowel habits, and that's an indicator of poor nutrition. You can be pale, lethargic. You can have, and Carrie can sympathize with this and tell us more about it too, tooth decay or oral hygiene issues. You can be in poor physical health, dry hair, dry skin, brain drain, you just feel like you're in a little fog all the time, poor healing, and of course, a compromised immune system. And what I think is interesting to ask ourselves is, why are we not able to meet the dietary allowances? What is the problem with us as Americans? And I can't help but go back to our speed clean the bathroom in 10 minutes. Like, I think we just all live, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but we all live with this desire to be living a lifestyle of conveniences. And so we just wander through the grocery store and we pick up products that make our life easy. It's a bag of chips, it's a frozen dinner, it's whatever you can get on the table in just a few minutes, without really spending time nurturing your body by eating fresh fruits and vegetables and eating sustainable proteins. And I know that it's an effort. And so I too, I'm always looking for ways to make it easier for myself. So we end up eating the standard American diet, which is acronym for that is SAD, and it's loaded with cholesterol, salt, and sugar. And it's really short in dietary fiber and many, many nutrients. The second month of our protocol, the NEST protocol, is about an easy detox. And what we've realized when we prescribe or recommend the doTERRA cleanse protocol is that oftentimes people will say that they have muscle cramping or digestive cramping, and it's uncomfortable for them. They feel like they're kind of getting a flu-like symptoms. And so what we've done is put together a much easier protocol, and we'll load you up on the first month with stellar nutrition so that the body is ready to do an easy detox. And so here it says, a gentle cleanse effectively supports the liver's vital detoxification processes, eliminates toxins stored in organs and tissues, and helps shed excess weight, alkalizes the body, and gets your circulation moving. The third month, we're recommending that you consider supporting the microbiome. And I have a quote here from a Dr. Safdie, who's a rheumatologist. And she says that there's a growing body of research that has linked autoimmune issues to the health of the gut microbiome. She says, because 80% of your immune system is within the gut lining, any imbalances you have in your microbiome can contribute to the development of an autoimmune disease. And as I said at the beginning, there are several factors that are associated with autoimmune diseases, including genetics, viral infections, but even certain foods that have long been suspected of triggering autoimmune diseases. But over the last decade, a new suspect has emerged, and scientists are now implicating the gut microbiome in many numerous autoimmune conditions, including lupus, type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis. And researchers are trying to understand the mechanism behind the apparent ability of the gut microbiota to trigger or to sustain autoimmune conditions. And in some cases, the bacteria moves out of the gut to other organs, including the liver, where they set off an immune cascade that leads to lupus. So there are bugs that are crossing the gut barrier. And then I read another little bit of research that said that there had been liver biopsies that were taken from a lupus group and a healthy group. And they found that there were bugs, bacteria that wasn't supposed to be on the liver on the people that had lupus, but it didn't show up in the healthy population. So I think in general, we need to come back to nutrition to really feed our body the appropriate foods so that we can sustain a healthy microbiome. And then of course, to add prebiotics and probiotics to help support it as we move forward towards that transformation stage. But I did say that there's more that scientists need to understand about the rules that regulate the bacterial society in the gut. And the hope is that a healthy combination of probiotics and prebiotics will support the growth of beneficial bacteria to support the immune system. Okay, and so the last month is about transforming your health. So the final step of the NEST protocol happens when all of the systems of the body work effortlessly to maintain balance, stability, and growth. And I think that's such an important thing to consider. You can't be a healthy person if you're not sleeping well. You can't be a healthy person if you have digestive disorders. You can't be a healthy person if you have a chronic rash on your skin. We need the whole body to work in harmony. We want the immune system to act appropriately. We want the inflammatory system to work appropriately so that you can have a natural flow of energy and healing. And just know that this NEST protocol is at your fingertips anytime you need it. You don't have to wait for us to help encourage you to do it, but we are together as a group to help support you through the protocol if that's what you'd like to do. So with the NEST protocol, the first month being nutrition, these are the recommended doTERRA products that we think can help support your nutrition. And we're going to go through all of them. Many of them, I'm sure that you're already very well versed in, but I want you to consider it now within this NEST protocol, within this notion of supporting the body as you're dealing with autoimmune concerns. So we're going to talk about lifelong vitality, digestion, lemon essential oil, the Zendric soft gels, and optionally peppermint capsules, Mitotomax, and then a late entry that I didn't put in here is On Guard. So let's see, I think Kathy's up next.
Okay, well, I was just going to go over as briefly as one can possibly discuss lifelong vitality, because there's so many components to it. And I know you've heard us talk about it over and over, but it does bear repeating, just because if you're like me, you forget what certain things are meant to enhance in your life or to fix, help you deal with. So let's go through the different components quickly. The alpha CRS plus is a cellular vitality complex. It's containing these powerful polyphenols like pomegranate and turmeric and grapeseed that protect your cells from free radicals that can damage your cells, your DNA, your mitochondria, and the other critical cell structures. So polyphenols, they're a particularly powerful group of antioxidants, and they provide protection against all the free radical damage to cellular DNA and mitochondria. They have a high capacity to neutralize these free radicals, and they've been studied for a number of longevity health benefits. Just to synopsize that one, it provides powerful antioxidant and immune support through a potent blend of polyphenols and the carotenoids lutein and lycopene. Moving on to the Z omega, which also comes in a vegan format. This one provides ultra pure essential fatty acids and other fat soluble nutrients that help support your heart, your circulatory health, your brain health, your and optimal immune function, among many other systemic benefits. It provides, sorry, I have a dog in the background, but I can't mute myself.
Okay.
My husband's arriving home and he's very happy. So the omega-3 fatty acids, they're in this proprietary blend of marine and plant-sourced fatty acids. They help support your joints, your cardiovascular system, your brain, your immune function, pretty much overlapping somewhat with the alpha CRS as well. It has a powerful antioxidant called a carotenoid astaxanthin. It's included, it helps protect against lipid oxidation in the brain and throughout the circulatory system. That's a fat oxidation going on in your system, which you want to avoid. It also includes a proprietary blend of essential oils, like I think it's got thyme and clove and what was the other few? Frankincense, things like that in it. And those oils are, let me get back to my notes. They're also function as antioxidants, also helping with the oxidative stress going on in your cells. And it also, these oils help as a preservative because you don't want the fats in the Z omega to oxidize and go rancid. So the oils also protect those fatty acids from doing that when they're encapsulated in the capsule. The last one are the vitamins, the Microplex VMZ, also once again in a vegan format if you're interested. And it's a formula of essential vitamins, bioavailable minerals, and they help provide optimal levels of key micronutrients that support your energy and your immune functions. They are vitamins and minerals, like Wendy was saying, are essential cofactors of growth and energy production and cellular immune function. I would go on, but I know our time is short and there's a lot of other things to get on with here, but the Microplex is a balanced formula, essential vitamins and chelated minerals that include immune supporting nutrients, vitamin A, C, E, B6, and the mineral zinc.
Right, thank you. So what we're talking about here with the NEST protocol is overloading those cells with as much nutrient value as you can possibly get. And so that's the recommended product that we want you to start with, just to load up those cells, get everything nice and healthy, because the second month is that easy detox and you want your body to be capable of handling the stress of going through that detox. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one. So let's see, I think it's Kimberly. Is it Kimberly that's going to talk about?
One of the things that I wanted to talk about with the Lifelong Vitality too, it is such an amazing supplement. And
right,
with the vitamins, God, my brain's not working tonight. I'm so sorry. It's also a whole food complex. And you guys have to remember that. It's got greens in it. In addition to the vitamin A and the D and the B and all of the stuff that Kathy mentioned, there's greens in it. And I can't stress that enough. and they're really important greens that we need. So it is a whole food complex. And then the alpha CRS that Kathy was talking about, how it's so great for our cell renewal and all that, also has milk thistle and pine bark extract. And both of those have a cleansing effect, particularly for our liver and kidneys, but it's just very mild. So, you know, we're talking about this first month of getting our bodies ready to let go of some stuff. And so giving it the nutrition and giving it the energy and that your body needs to do that, it's also getting a little bit of gentle cleansing. And I think one of the biggest things with the alpha CRS, I was getting ready for a class, but I think I heard Linda saying she wasn't feeling good. And one of the things that we've noticed with the with just being on the Lifelong Vitality is those of us who have autoimmune, we've noticed we don't get sick nearly as much as we used to. Isn't that right, Kath and Carrie?
Yes.
I mean, it has helped. We always think of it On Guard as our key, which On Guard is, it's key for keeping our immune system strong. But that's one of the unbelievable benefits of the Lifelong Vitality. It helps to build your immune system. I used to get chronic sicknesses, particularly bronchitis and a couple of other things on a regular basis. I have not had any of it. And it'll be 11 years that I've been using these products. Okay. I didn't get on the Lifelong Vitality immediately. Took me maybe 6 or 7 months, but I've never gotten bronchitis again. And, you know, I attribute it to not only the oil usage, but also the Lifelong Vitality. And if it's, some people say it's too much trouble to open up these bottles and do all this, there's so many ways to get them into your body. They've got the little pre-packaged packages. Those are so great. You can throw it in your purse and take them, or you can dump them all in a pretty little jar like so. Kathy, I know, has a beautiful little jar. I dumped all 3 of them in here and you can see the difference. You know which ones they are, and you just take 2 of each of those. So recommended dosages. And by the way, at the end of all of this, you guys, we want to help any of you that are here that are experiencing some of this. So there's another little assessment that we can have you take, and we can go over it with you individually. And because Kathy, Carrie, and myself all have different autoimmune issues, we figure we can work with those of you that we are familiar and we have, you know, I don't want to say healed ourselves, but we have. I don't have the problems like I used to. Do I still have issues? Yes. But it's also from being a normal human being and not always doing the things that I know I should be doing, right? And we all do that, right?
Right. We're all right.
Yeah,
we're never going to eat perfect all the time. We're never going to get all the right amount of sleep. We're never going to be able to give up that glass of wine, you know, always. I mean, I hardly drink at all, but occasionally I need a glass. It's just what it is. So
coffee.
And yeah, coffee, I gave that up completely. So anyway, so moving on to Digestion, I think was our next one here. Digestion is very powerful. And again, I was talking earlier about the different delivery systems. We're just talking about the capsules because it makes it easy. If you've got the roller bottle or the 15 ml and you put it in your water, whatever way you want to deliver it to yourself is fine. But the Digestion, you can see what's in it, the anise, peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, tarragon, and fennel. And it is so powerful. And we really encourage you to use that if you need it the first 30 days. It's just kind of really, you'll probably need it more in your second month, but we just recommend having it because people do get stomach upsets. And sometimes even when first starting the Lifelong Vitality, I've had people go, gosh, I had someone the other day telling me they just started it. They really like it, but the omega seems to upset her stomach. And so I told her to just cut down to 1 omega and use her Digestion. And I said, and give it a few days. Your body is being introduced to a whole lot of new nutrients that it may not be used to, right? And within a couple of days, she was fine. And she's having no trouble taking the omegas now. So that's one we recommend you having.
Can I just interject that I used my Digestion Touch the diluted roller bottle version this afternoon, just before we got onto our call, because I had a little bit of acid reflux going on, and that can be icky and uncomfortable. And I rolled it on there, and I have, within 10 minutes, absolutely no concerns, no pain, no nothing. So it's really pretty much a magic medicine.
Yeah, it truly is.
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
Yeah, and some people don't like
Yeah,
this.
I won't even wait till I have an issue. I just do it.
Take it?
Yeah, well, yeah, or just rub the touch on my chest, and yeah, just preventative more or less as well, right?
That's great.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's a great thing, Rose. I love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we recommend having is, of course, lemon. And lemon is such an amazing oil. It's a gentle cleanser, once again, like we were talking milk thistle. But what the lemon does is it helps to, remove it from the body, because like lemon, some of the top uses for lemon are water retention, lymphatic cleansing. It's part of the allergy cocktail. Why? Because it helps to drain all of the stuff out of your body. It's great as a liver and kidney detox, for gout. So it helps move stuff out of your body. So it's just a gentle little cleanse. So add it to your water daily. You can put it on the bottoms of your feet. You can also diffuse it. It's a wonderful, wonderful oil. You can rub it over your liver and kidney area as well. So there's a lot of great things to do with the lemon, but that's a must. And you should always, I think most everybody that has the oils has a bottle of lemon in their arsenal. Okay, the Zendocrine. Carrie, why don't you talk about the Zendocrine? Because Carrie used the Zendocrine in her cleanse, or in her cleanse. I waited to use the Zendocrine a little bit later. So Carrie, why don't you tell us about how effective it was and why?
Well, when I have celiac disease, and I also, my family, I have a sister who died from lupus, and our family just has different autoimmune diseases. So when I started to detox, it's hard to explain in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, spent a lot of money and time. And so when you detox and you do it in a big way, because I'm all, I go, what is it? I can't even think of it. Go big or stay home.
Yeah.
So I go big, and then I was more achy, and I thought, oh no, what have I done to my body? And I found out later that if you detox without draining, you got to drain what you're detoxifying. You will get more achy, because it's like going to the gym and sweating. You're asking your body, if you don't take a cool shower afterwards, to reabsorb all the toxins that you just sweat out. And my doctor told me that, my naturopathic doctor. So anyway, Zendocrine is full of so many different things. And how many of you use peppermint? Just raise your hand. How many of you use peppermint? And how many of you use lemon? Yeah. So here's the thing that I learned that I'd like to explain really simply, is that when you use one oil and you look in the book and you find out over time, like, you just start to feel better. So Zendocrine is one of those things that even if you don't know why you're taking it, because you can't remember, it's one of the oils that helps drain and detoxify you, even if you're not on a cleanse. So for example, 3 of the things that are in it, the rosemary, the cilantro, and the juniper, they're known for detoxifying. We have an adrenal blend that we're going to talk about in our series. And this is rosemary is a part of that. So the other things are tangerine and geranium are in it, and they have purifying effects against unhealthy substances. And when you combine them, actually, they help free your body of toxins and free radicals, while supplying support to all your organs, including your liver, your colon, your kidneys, your lungs, and your skin. Now, there's many oils that do many things, but this one works on all of those things. So as you take this over time, you'll start to feel better. And one of the physical things that I noticed a difference in is, for example, with my autoimmune, I get bloated. Some people get real skinny and they get thin, and I get bloated and puffy, and it takes the puffy away. along with a few other oils. So it's one of my favorite oils. And even if you, I was looking under Terra's website, even if you don't like the taste of it, you can take the capsules. If you go out of town and you just ate wrong and you just ate a poor diet, you can take 1 capsule a day for 7 days and you'll have benefits from that. So I like the idea that we're doing a program because I'm a list checker, right? I want to have accountability. That's why Weight Watchers does such a great job. Well, with our group, you have accountability, but this is something you can pack in your bag and take it with you if you're on a cruise. And you remember you the first day you wear your skinny clothes because on the 7th day you're not going to be able to wear them. Take this with you and take 1 a day. I'm not telling you it's going to fix all your problems. I'm just saying it's one of those oils that I wish I had many years ago when I went on cruises. So anyway, that's I love it.
So do you take this every day?
I do not right now because I'm targeting areas of my body, but I have recently been on different cleanses. And so right now, the one I'm on, I'm not taking this. I'm using a different oil, which is lemongrass. And we'll talk about that just because I can't buy all the oils at once. But we are simplifying when we start as a group to do our detox. I'm going to be taking that. I used to take it every day, probably for about 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there was times when
Okay.
I ran out of it and had to get more, but I love the taste of it in the capsule because you kind of burp it up a little bit. I do not like the taste of it in water. So that's where you have to test it and try it.
Thanks.
But,
Thanks for that, Carrie.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, let's go on to the
It's a
next
very
one.
strong aroma, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then Carrie, you were also excited about sharing the peppermint and terra-coated capsules with our group too. We were sort of glowing about this particular.
This is my favorite. It's like you have favorites, but this is like my favorite right now. I take this every day. And what this does is that and it's actually therapeutic. It's targeted for when you have autoimmune diseases. It's so hard to explain, but you know, when you go get an upper and lower GI, they scope you from the top, they scope you from the bottom. The one area they can't reach is my area, which is your small intestine. This is encapsulated, so it's guaranteed to go through the stomach, go through all that acid and make it to the small intestine. So I take peppermint beadlets every day. I take it before a meal, I take it with a meal, I take it after. They're my favorite thing. I carry them with me. Peppermint has over 100 uses, but for me, it helps my stomach. It cools it and it settles it from food, as well as many other oils. But this particular oil is one I give my husband and I every day. And if I'm having tummy problems, I'll take it at nighttime too. But my doctor recommended this. I have 2 doctors that recommended it. And they said, well, you know, I can give you a company name. And I said, doTERRA has that. And they're like, oh, okay, whatever, take it. But you can look up on doTERRA's website. Doctors recommend this, and there's new research. And my doctor told me, and medical doctors are telling people take Terra-coated peppermint, and I trust doTERRA. Yeah.
Do you, this probably sounds like a weird question, but can you feel that in your body when you take the peppermint?
Okay, we're being recorded. I'm kind of embarrassed. But,
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
no, it's okay. No, when you go to the bathroom, sometimes if you take 2 a day, you can kind of feel a cooling effect as it comes out of your body, but it's not a bad feeling. It's actually very cooling. I'm always hot. I'm always inflamed and puffy. So yeah, it's a good question. And yeah, you do, because it's designed to make it through the entire colon system, which not many products do. So yeah, but it's I don't know how to explain it, but it settles and cools my insides. That's a great way to say it.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that too.
Thanks for asking.
Okay, and then I had a conversation with Kimberly yesterday, and sort of a late entry into our NEST protocol for month 1 is the On Guard product. So Kimberly, you want to talk about On Guard?
Absolutely. We all know On Guard is one of our key products, and during any time you want to keep your body strong. We talked about the lifelong life vitality, keeping your immune system strong. But the bottom line is we're exposed to all sorts of viruses and bacterial and things every day. So we really should be using some form of On Guard. And we've got the roller bottle, we've got the 5 ml, we've got the On Guard capsules now. And there's, you know, the beadlets. We don't have a picture of the beadlets, but the beadlets are this simple little thing that you can carry in your purse, and it's smaller than a lipstick. And when you feel like you've been exposed, like for example, today I went to go pick up my van and some lady was trying to take out some over-the-counter meds, I can't think of, Mucinex or something, out of a package. And she's standing there at the counter battling with this, with her water. And I thought, I wonder if she has allergies. So I just said, oh, allergies. She says, oh no, I have a terrible cold. And she's standing there at the counter with her hands on the counter, touching everything. And it just blew me away, you know? And so I immediately sat down, I moved far away from her, and I pulled out my little On Guard beadlets because I always have them in my purse. And I took about 3 beadlets. And then when I got home, I took one of my On Guard tablets. It's just like people expose us all the time. So that was very frustrating. So it's our protective blend. It's amazing stuff. The other thing is, if you are in an environment where you're around a lot of people, put it in a diffuser. If you work in an office with other people, put it in your diffuser. If you're at a school with a bunch of snotty kids, and I don't mean, you know, kids they're just like little walking infections. We love them dearly, but they carry all sorts of things. And so having a diffuser with On Guard, if you've got your grandkids over, whatever, keep that On Guard going all the time to keep yourself strong and really help keep that immune system strong.
Yeah, and I think those On Guard plus the Protective Blend soft gels are amazing. And so they have oregano and melissa right in the blend. So that's why it's On Guard plus. And at the first sign of a symptom, go ahead and start popping those babies. I mean, I'll take, 2 or 3 at a time, a couple times a day, 3 times a day when I'm noticing symptoms, and I can usually keep myself from feeling crummy. So it's amazing how well it works.
As Wendy said, that's the key, guys. As soon as you start to feel something off, you may have no idea what it is or what you've been exposed to, just pop some On Guards, because you've got nothing to lose, but everything to gain.
You could save yourself from getting really, really unwell. So
yeah. And as I was saying, now 11 years and I just don't get sick. I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to say that, knock on wood, right? But
right.
Like I used to, the chronic bronchitis and all the issues that I had because of my adrenal fatigue. So, and speaking of adrenal fatigue, this is an option as well. And I highly recommend it, especially if you are tired. And what's interesting is when I first got onto the oils, because I had borderline Addison's disease, extreme adrenal fatigue, I can go on and on about everything that was going on. Allergies were triggering it. But when I did it, I was able to heal, or I should say rejuvenate my adrenals. And it took a couple years. And I never used the Mitotomax. I didn't really know about it until a couple of years into it. And then I started taking it. And Mitotomax is a complex, and you can add this to your Lifelong Vitality order. All right, guys, for a whopping $20. That's it. So if you are ordering the Lifelong Vitality, you can add that right to as an extra add-on, and you save money by doing that. So what it is it's basically a blend of adaptogenic herbs and extracts. And I'm sure many of you have heard of CoQ enzymes and ginseng, ashwagandha. Those are all things that are very healing. And also what's so weird about this stuff is a few cordyceps and ashwagandha are very calming. And this is Mitotomax helps you with your energy. So if you've got fatigue, this is something that's going to help you with body fatigue and tiredness. All right. It's going to help you with adrenal fatigue, hormonal imbalance, your libido, if you're still having sex, just saying out loud, right? Physical stress, all of that. And the crazy thing is you'd think that it also helps with anxiety. All right. And you'd think because it's energy producing that it wouldn't help with anxiety, but it calms and gives your body, it calms the brain, but gives your body the energy that it needs to to operate properly. It also helps with poor circulation, which I didn't know either. And so if you have any circulatory issues, Mito2Max can be a real game changer for you. So if you haven't thought of it before, I highly recommend giving it a try. You know, in your first month, if you know, add it to your lifelong vitality and see if you feel the difference.
Yeah, thank you. I've taken this one at the change of seasons during the holidays when our days are shorter. And I just get into that little funk, you know, that seasonal affectiveness disorder. And I find it really very, very helpful. That's a good product.
It's one of those secret products that, you know, most people don't know about. And as I said, it took me a few years to really discover the benefit of it. And it's rocking stuff.
Yeah, Kat. Oh, are you muted, honey? Kathy, I think you're muted.
You're muted, Kathy.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if there was 2 seconds I could add one more product that I find useful. I suffer from, well, not suffer, I shouldn't say that anymore. I used to suffer from fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. And I've managed to mitigate most all of those symptoms on a pretty regular basis. I do occasionally get a little overwhelmed. It's kind of a stress-induced type situation these days. So I try to keep that at a level that's manageable. And of course, all my doTERRA products are critical. But when I do get into a flare situation, I find the Ddr Prime, which is a very powerful antioxidant cellular support blend that doTERRA has. I take that. I don't take it on a regular basis, but I do take it when I'm getting some flare-ups with my autoimmune situation. So I just wanted to add that in. I obviously also take the Lifelong Vitality, and I felt if any of you suffer from the same thing, I find that if I eat less sugar and less gluten, and I do mitigate my stress with our doTERRA products, then I do tend to live a much more normal life. So.
Yeah. So it's
Thank
about
you
being
for
responsible, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
About being responsible for your own health and just kind of keeping these symptoms at bay and giving your body what it needs to stay happy and healthy, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we're proposing. We're going to do this NEST protocol, and it's going to be a special summer series. We're inviting you to join us on Sundays at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. This first month really is already in the bag. This is what we've done tonight, is to talk to you about what we think would be beneficial to support your nutritional needs during the first 30 days of the protocol. And then the next time we meet on June 12th, we'll take you through the easy detox.
The second month.
The second month, yeah. So for June, that would be the second month. And so again, this is just the shopping list for month number 1, just to see that if you have these products available, and if you don't, maybe you want to put them on your order. And you'll also be receiving a little checklist. So this is just a complete knockoff of the Cleanse and Restore protocol that doTERRA offers us, and they give you a little checklist. So all I did was pop in the products that we were talking about tonight with the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Digestion, the Zendocrine, the Lemon, the Mito2Max, the Peppermint, and the Capsules, those last 3 being optional. And with the Cleanse and Restore protocol, you are asked to take certain protocols for the first 10 days, and then you don't take them again, or you take them days through 1 through 20. But you can see with these products, it seems to me that you're going to be taking these every day. The dosages are going to be unique to you. So Kimberly asked me, well, how often do you take your Lifelong Vitality? Well, I just take 1 capsule of the XE Omega, the VMZ, and the Alpha. Take 1 each of those, and I do it in the morning, and that's all I take. I don't usually take it again in the afternoon or evening, but you might feel like you need to do it twice a day. You might feel like you need to take 2 capsules from each one of those bottles.
Well, and
So
it
it's
also
really gonna be-
depends on their size and weight, ladies, too. That's a big factor as well. You know, Wendy's a little peanut. And, she's a cute little peanut. And, some of us are not peanuts. We're cute, but we're not peanuts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're larger nuts.
And plus, I'm a larger nut. Plus, I tend to not get as much of the nutrition that I know my body needs. I'm probably one of those 95 percenters that doesn't get the nutrition that they need from their food. Wendy's one of the 5. I'm one of the 95. So I know for a fact my body requires a much closer to the 2 and 2, just because that's how it's formulated to get you everything the bottle says it has for you as far as the percentages and stuff. So everybody is going to make their own decision based on their own needs, I think.
Absolutely.
Right.
Kathy,
And
that's such a great point that you brought up, because it is, Wendy eats mostly a plant-based diet. And, so those of you, what you're eating. If you're eating at McDonald's or you're eating, fried foods or, things like, and we're not here. Let me tell you right now, we're not here to criticize or, tell you have to give anything up. As a matter of fact, I've got a little list, Wendy, if you want to let me share the screen.
Sure.
And so I've got a little list, a checklist. Yeah, if you can give me permission.
Okay.
Close that up.
Just stop
And
share.
I'll share this last piece here.
You should have that.
I do.
You should be able to do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
And so it's just a little question. And so literally, guys, we're not here to ask you to give up anything, but taking this assessment is just going to help you. It's going to help us to let you know what could be triggering some things. Like Kathy was just saying, sometimes she has little flare-ups, and when she does, she knows what to do for it, right? Carrie, same thing. When we have a flare-up, we know what to do for it. And that's what we're trying to help you manage. And so believe me, I gave up some of these things, but I still imbibe once in a while. Okay. And not all these things, some of these things we're asking you, are you eating organic? So just checklist, don't judge it. We're not going to judge it, but it helps us to understand and maybe guide you better to some of the different things. Because with me, with the extreme adrenal fatigue and the hormones and all the things that I went through, and then Kathy with her fibromyalgia, all the things that she's gone through, and she knows what triggers her. So these are just a bunch of things that can trigger different things. And so oftentimes, if we just look at some of this and are able to just maybe cut down on one thing, or we can also look and see that, wow, we're not doing this and we're not doing that. And that's good for our bodies, right? And so that's all it is. This is not a judgment, because I know sometimes when we take assessments, we're looking, well, the doctor always gives you one and asks how many days a week do you drink or do you smoke or all these things. And sometimes we get a little funny about it. So that's not what it's here for. It's just to help us better help you to feel your very best and to live your life with zest and vitality and feel great.
Yeah.
Natural solutions when you choose it, because I'm drinking a Starbucks right now that my daughter got me earlier today, and I still have some left, but I also took the Mito Max this morning, and I took all my other, and I'm taking 4 because I have a flare up right now with my autoimmune. I've had one. So I love that it's individual, and the tools that we're teaching you, and that I love that everybody has different tools. You can pull from what you need, because we don't all need the same thing. So
that's a good point. I'm going to go back, if it's okay, to my other screen.
Yep.
And as Carrie just said, let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. You might be ready to be on a fast track, and that was Carrie's words when we were meeting.
Right, because if you're already on the lifelong vitality and doing these things, we can move you to the next level.
Yeah, so you might just be ready. And so as Kathy talked about the Ddr Prime, if you follow this particular NEST protocol, you'll find the Ddr Prime finds its way later into the program. But if you're ready for it now, there's no reason why you have to wait. If you feel like you need some guidance from one of us, we are happy to help you. again, I'm not maybe the expert on autoimmune issues. I'm the one that asked for this class because I know so many of you that have them. I have some new people that I've met here in Florida, and I haven't met that many people, but the people that I've met are all dealing with these issues. So I'm the one that asked. We got through the suggested products and the days and dosage that you're going to take them. Let's just go through the rest of them just to make sure that I have it right too. But the Digestion, we are thinking about the capsule, the soft gel. And so the recommended amount is to take one daily as needed. And so my experts here might say, well, you might need to take that after a meal or before a meal. But what's your suggestion with the Digestion? You take it as you need it?
Well, for me, I would say yes, but you know, Rose said she uses it every day as a preventative, and if she's getting results from it, again, that's what's so beautiful about the oils, you guys, is that it's not like you're dealing with a drug that you can only take one every 12 hours or whatever, and you may not be getting relief from that one that you're taking every 12 hours.
Right.
The oils are safe. There are no side effects, unless of course you're allergic to something that's in the oil, right? But so just maybe take one a day or roll it on once a day just to see, and you'll know if you need it more. I mean, if you're getting a little bit of bloating with your meals, then I would use it at every single meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're getting gas or any sort of, or GERD, you know, acid reflux, anything like that, then use it for sure. One of the things you'll find as your body starts to heal itself, and let me be clear about this. The oils don't heal your body. What it is the oils help your body to do what it was designed to do, and that is to heal itself.
Right.
And so when you're giving your body what it needs to heal, you'll find that you will no longer, you know, like I hardly ever use Digestion anymore because I don't need it. You know how beautiful that is? I used to be drinking this stuff. I was, you know, constantly Digestion. I would put it in my water bottle. So I was drinking it throughout the day. And that's another delivery system. If you like that, you can put it in there and it just kind of helps calm your tummy. So that's another great way to do it. But I really don't need it anymore. And so your body, as it heals, you know,
it goes into that homeostasis, which is what we talked about at the beginning of our class.
Exactly.
And Carrie, maybe you can talk to us about the Zendocrine dosages and how often you take that.
Well, the Zendocrine, I would start with just I think 2 to 4 drops in the morning if you're going to do the liquid.
Okay.
And then just see how you feel. If you like the taste of it, you know, if you're not uncomfortable with, sometimes because when things really digest in the belly, I get a little burping. I don't mind that, but some people do. And so personally, if you have true autoimmune, you have inflammation, you have a lot of those things that were on that list, I don't want to mess around anymore. I take everything morning and night. And the only thing that I can't tolerate at nighttime is lemon oil, just to let you know, because it gives me so much energy. I took a combination of that at nighttime when I wasn't well, and I was up till 2 in the morning. And after my first dose of an hour, and then when I first started using the oils, and then another hour, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning cleaning. And I'm like, I love lemon, but I don't take it at nighttime. So that's the only one that I don't drink at nighttime, truly.
And that's, you know, that's your body. So every body is going to respond differently. And so the Zendocrine soft gel, I think there's 2 drops of essential oil in the soft gel. So if you're kind of following Carrie's guidance, she's putting about 4 drops in water and drinking it. So maybe take 2. But the protocol, as was recommended on the doTERRA website, was to take 1 in the morning and 1 at night.
Yeah.
Okay, and the lemon oil. Yep, and the consistency is key. I like that. And so the lemon oil, 2 drops in 8 ounces of water, drink 5 times a day. And if you're Carrie, you're not going to do that at night, unless you want her to come over and clean your house.
I put a drop over my heart before a meeting today, and I'm like, I'm a little nervous, but I have company, so I'll be up late. So.
And then we have the Mito 2 Max, 2 capsules daily with food. And I do think that these products should be taken with food. You're going to be using your digestive juices to break that down and move it through the system. And then the peppermint capsules, I hope I have that right. Take 2 capsules with food. Does that sound right to you, Carrie?
I would start with 1.
One.
And
Okay.
I
I'm
would
going to
start with
change
1 in
that.
the morning and 1 at night. And the only reason is because you just want to see how it feels. And then
Okay.
that's what I do. I take 1 in the morning and 1 at night.
Okay. I'm going to change that on your form just in case you want to do that.
And the Mito 2 Max, I always took mine in the morning, or 1 in the morning or 1 at lunch. I don't take those in the evening.
Yeah,
No.
I wouldn't recommend taking it. in
You
the
know,
evening
you're
either.
wanting energy, you want it in the morning when you're getting up. So that's
Okay.
really the best time to nurture, because oftentimes if our adrenals are low, our cortisol levels can be very low and it's hard to get up in the morning. So
Right.
having something with, you know, the Mito 2 Max is a perfect thing to kind of get you going in the morning.
Mhm. And then I included the On Guard on here, and I just said as needed. I mean, that's how I take On Guard. But if you're dealing with an autoimmune issue and you need to support your immune system because you get, you know, chronic respiratory infections, then I would imagine you'd want to take it more often. However, the On Guard Plus does have the oregano in it. So how do you feel about that? I mean, the guidance is, the guidelines are to take it for 10
I
days.
typically take one of those, but I take one maybe 3 days out of the week. And certainly not days in a row.
Okay.
I just feel like it's not going to be too much oregano if I, you know, put some time in between each one, but I do feel like I need the extra added benefit of the immune support.
Okay. So that makes sense. Yeah. So with the oregano in there, the suggestion is you only take it for 10 days. And so I like Kathy's approach where she's taking it more consistently and she's taking it just for a few days during the week and then she's not taking it. It makes sense.
Well,
to
and
me to
if
do
you
that.
guys decide a different delivery system for the On Guard, the new On Guard tablets, I don't know who's got those yet, but they're chewables. And
Oh,
those
right.
they actually have zinc and vitamin D in them.
Mhm.
So those you can take every single day. And it gives you, even though there's vitamin D in our Lifelong Vitality, there
And
is not zinc.
Yeah.
So it gives you that extra zinc, which is really a good thing. And then with the Mito 2 Max, it's quercetin. And those are some of the things that have been recommended as well to ward off what's been going around the last 2 years.
Right.
That's one of the protocols that doctors give you are zinc, vitamin D, quercetin,
Quercetin.
and copper as well. So if you take the On Guard, the new On Guard tablets, that's what's unique about them is they've added the vitamin D and the zinc in them. So it's
I
great
probably
little
overdose
thing.
on Guard.
I don't think.
I overdose, I think.
Who
Can you
overdose?
overdose on it? I do.
On the
Can
On
you
Guard?
overdose on Guard?
I don't think so.
Well,
I take it because I don't want to get sick. And I don't get sick.
well, then
Knock on wood.
I guess it's not really an overdose. It's
You
doing it.
don't look overdosed to me. You look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get a cold because it goes down in my chest. I just don't want to get sick. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I use it on my hands and I carry it with me on my keychain and
Good.
I take the tabs and I take the chewables and
Yeah. So do you like
I don't
those
know,
chewables? What are they like? Do they taste
oh yeah, I
like
chew one down
Fanta?
every morning and night. It's like putting it on your apples, you know,
Oh, okay.
What?
Nice.
when you do On Guard on your apples.
Yeah.
Linda,
Tell her
you've
the
done that.
recipe. Tell Linda the recipe.
You've done that,
Well,
Linda, haven't you?
Kimberly's always done that.
I've done the On Guard on the apples. I really like that, but the On Guard tablets that I bought that were supposed to be chewable, they're really hard. They don't.
Yeah, they are hard. They're
Yeah,
chewable, but they're
they're
hard.
chewable
They're hard
tablet.
candy. It's a tablet.
Yeah.
They're
And
not what I consider chewable. They're suckable, maybe.
They should say that on the label.
right.
They really should. Suckable,
Yeah.
like hard candy. Not
Yeah.
chewable
You can
like-
suck them. Absolutely.
Oh,
But if
that's
you can suck and then chew, they're good for you. Or maybe, what about the beadlets, Linda?
Yeah,
I
I've
do
been
that
using
too,
the
yeah.
beadlets for a long time. I need
Good.
to.
Yeah.
Or the
and I think-
lozenges.
Yeah, that's great, Lori.
I mean, that's On Guard is the only lozenge that will take away a tickle when I get a asthma thing, tickly thing going on. That's the only thing that will take a tickle away other than wintergreen lifesavers. Now, which one would you rather take?
Yeah,
That's what I come down to.
good point. Yeah.
You know, the one's got all sugar in it. Yeah, it tastes good, but it's all sugar. So the On Guard is just,
A better
I don't know, it's a better way to go.
Better choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Lori.
Totally.
Okay, what else is next? So there's the date. See you Sunday, June 12th, if you want to join us for month 2 of the NEST protocol. And I hope that you will. We're going to offer the same class again on Sunday, and I'm going to put the Zoom link in your email. And if you want to hear this again, or if you want to bring a friend, oh, we would just love you to do that. That would be so helpful. And then that's my last slide. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to stop share, come back to your little faces. Anybody have any comments or concerns about what we're talking about? Do you feel like you are one of the people that should be on the fast track? You ready for some specific protocols for your particular concerns? We are here to help.
Did this not too long before I started doing the eating with you, Wendy. Different, you know? And I'm taking it slow, but I feel so much better. I do feel better. Good. And you can definitely tell it. Kind of go through the cleanse and then get on the right kind of food. And I'm just, I'm better that way. So
excellent.
It's coming. Slow and steady wins the race.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely, Laura.
That's great.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording, but you're welcome to